Oh, hey everybody. Hi Lola, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm a little afraid that everyone heard my stomach like grumble so loud during that intro. Like my mic is right here and I just heard this grumble.
I did not hear anything.
Yes.
So I think you're all
Yes.
good.
Yes.
But yes, I already see lots of people in the chat who are super excited. I'm Lola. I'm your host today. I'm here with Andrew, who is a seasoned pro. He's an incredible brand designer. And then he also leads the daily creative challenges, which I'm sure you have tuned into, especially for Illustrator. So before we kick off into the actual session, I do want to recommend checking out the Photoshop Creative Challenges, which are hosted by Wade. They're actually every day at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then if you're looking to get better at Photoshop or just discover new ways to use it in your creative process, I highly recommend doing one of the creative challenges and tuning in there. So I'm just looking at the chat to see who's here. I see
Everyone.
literally everyone. This is super exciting. Hey Val, hello.
Oh, Wade is
Kiss My
here.
Creative.
Wade
And
Acuff
Wade is
right
actually
there.
here.
Yes.
Yep, there we go. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube right now, go ahead and hop over to Behance. That's b.net/Adobe Live. So we can actually see your comments. So go ahead and join the conversation.
Yeah, and
And for,
if you're coming from YouTube, put like a red heart in the chat. I always like to see
yes,
people that come from YouTube that's like, I'm here on Behance. So put a little red heart in the Behance chat if you're coming from YouTube.
yes, we want to see all who are here. And I'd also love to know where you all are tuning in from. So drop in the chat where you are and maybe what time it is there.
Ooh. Oh, I know some of these people are in different time zones. I'm in Southern California, so I'm on Pacific. I believe, Lily, you're on the same?
Yep, Pacific time.
Yes. And then we actually have a special guest today, which will be super fun. Do you kind of want to give an overview, Lola, of what we're going to be like working on today? What's the vibe for the day?
Yes. So today's vibe, we will be working on the brand identity for a production studio called Code Bear. And I don't want to give too much away, but we will be working on the strategy and design behind this new brand identity today in Illustrator. And then tomorrow we'll actually be diving into Creative Cloud Express to see how our client will be able to actually use all of the assets that we help create
Yep.
to take their branding further.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. And I think we're going to be doing a lot of like strategy talk today. So if you want to learn more about Illustrator, we'll try to teach you some today, but you also can do those daily creative challenges. But today is going to be a lot of like branding strategy. And then tomorrow we'll show you, been a lot of streams about Creative Cloud Express of like how to create your own whatever. But we're going to be showing you how to set up your client for them to be able to create their own whatever, which is going to be really fun. Okay, let's just hop
Yes.
in. I believe, man, I never get tired of this bit. I believe that we have someone calling in. Let me grab the magic phone.
Ring, ring, ring,
Ring ring.
ring.
Why is it ringing so much? Hello, caller.
Hello, everyone.
Here
Claire
we go.
Haines here. Longtime listener, first time caller.
Oh, do I need to? Okay. Well, let's pretend it's still ringing. Okay, Claire's here. Hi, Claire. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello,
Um,
everyone.
Claire, do you want to do a little intro just about yourself, and I'll pull up your site and tell us what we're working on for you today?
Certainly. My name is Claire Haines, and I'm a filmmaker based in Northern California. I am a freelance editor, video editor for many years. And as you can see, this is my site. I branded myself with just my name. And I've done music videos, short films, feature films. I've worked for a bunch of different companies. And yeah, I love creating video content.
Sweet. So, what are we doing for you today? Is the question.
That is a good question. Well, now that I have a team of people that I like to work with regularly, we've done a lot of amazing projects together. I want to create a brand that feels a little bit bigger than just me, but still feel pretty indie. So that's why I'm starting Code Bear Media as a post-production company for independent films and digital media, where I will work with musicians, artists, create music videos, and indie directors for low budget films, and any small business that may need some help creating video content.
Ooh, fun. Okay. So
Love
Lola, you introduce yourself a little bit. Let's do a little intro for you because it will give some good context to where we're about to go.
Yes. So what's fun about this is that both me and Andrew are brand strategists and designers. So I run the Brand Doula, which is a brand design and strategy studio. Oh, you got my website pulled up.
Oh, I'm ready.
We focus on building immersive brand experiences for forward-thinking creatives. We primarily work with women of color entrepreneurs and helping them kind of further their businesses through strategy and design. So I personally love doing strategy. I love being very intentional with the visuals that we create and making sure that there is an actual strategy behind them and making sure that we're actually creating these full-on customer journeys that are not just pretty, but they're actually kind of more fully sensory and immersive experiences. And then Andrew, I feel like we want to learn more about you beyond the creative challenges. What do you spend your time doing?
Oh yeah, I do other stuff too. I forgot about this. So I do brand design as well. I do brand consulting and strategy for businesses as well. I love kind of positioning myself as a visual translator. So I like to take businesses that are trying to communicate something and have a story to tell and help them translate that into a visual medium, kind of create a new visual language for them. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be kind of doing an intake with Claire, getting a lot of information, and then showing the process of how I like to translate that into a visual, which is going to be fun. So Claire, we're going to just start hitting you with questions, and y'all will be able to see my screen here. And these are some beginner questions that I like to ask brands as we start to do an intake. But as we do this, I like to work in just full chaos. So I keep things super unorganized, very loose, because I want it to be like a free flow of ideas and whatnot. So if you see me typing things, I'm just throwing random notes in there. But feel free, Lola, to pop in if you have questions or insights or whatever for brand stuff. Claire, let's just start out. What clients are you trying to go after? Like, who's the target that we're trying to get to work with CodeBear?
Totally. My business is aimed towards low budget independent filmmakers and content creators. Because I have a full-time job at Adobe, my timelines may be longer than someone who is a full-time freelancer, but this allows me to be a little bit more free with the projects that I get to pick and help bring to the screen, since budget is almost always an issue for productions. I love to work on passion projects, small productions, and I love working on music videos and with musicians. And my bread and butter are actually horror films, since they tend to be really creative and high quality with no budgets. So again, just the independent filmmaker, and my motto for filmmakers is, if you can work with my timeline, I can work with your budget. So
love that.
Love that. Yeah.
Do you want to do more of the horror kind of stuff, or is that something that you're like, it happens, like I want to explore other things, or is there a genre that you want to focus on?
Definitely don't want to be pigeonholed into a certain genre. So because I have done a lot of horror, I've slowly been branching out. Recently just finished a feature film about, it's like a teen drama. And so I'm slowly expanding my skill set. And so I'd rather keep it a little bit more open to other things.
Cool. Talking about, is there a story for the name CodeBear?
Yes. Well, like all other Claires in the world, my nickname growing up was Claire Bear, or the bear, Clarita Osita, anything bear. And it was solidified as I was growing up because I was raised a UC Berkeley Cal Bears kid, going to the campus all the time, watching games and spending time at the Bears lair. If you've been there, you know what I mean, how cool it is. My mom was a Cal alumnus and a professor there, so I spent a lot of time in the East Bay. So the symbolic bear was always in my life.
Okay.
And then final little thing for for the chat is I had so much trouble coming up with a name for the company that encapsulated the breadth of the work that I want to create. So I work with Cody Bear, and while I was messaging her, my phone autocorrected to Code Bear, and that's where I had like this aha moment, like, oh, this name can work. So thanks, Cody Bear, for the name inspiration.
Sweet. So talking about how you want your clients to experience your brand, what would you want them, what like adjectives would you want them to think about when they think about your brand?
That is a good question. I would say professional, positive, independent, like indie, which is like has their own vibes, and then empowering.
Okay. Lola, do you have any thoughts on those kind of adjectives? Because I'm betting that that's like a big zone that you sit on, is trying to figure out like how to describe. What's your like strategy into talking to a client like that?
The question that you asked was perfect, and I would want to even go deeper into indie and what might be appealing to your client about that. So is it appealing that you're indie maybe because you're more approachable, or maybe because the process is more simple? Can we dive deeper into kind of why your client would like that you're indie over a non-independent or a larger production studio?
Right. Approachable is definitely a great word. Then I would say like, more individualized and more like family, I guess, sort of vibe, rather than like a bigger studio production house where a lot of it is like, what will this do with audiences, and like, or how well will it do with audiences over the art of creating the film. And while it's really important to have audiences in mind, I really want to focus on the artistry of filmmaking.
Cool. Okay. I also have forgotten, and this is just a note for chat for what's about to happen, I forgot to turn on some vibes. So we got some music vibes now. Let me know if the music is too loud, if it's too soft, what the vibe is, and I can augment accordingly. I forgot that we needed it, and it just like felt like something was missing. All right, it is very loud. I'm actually going to turn it down just a little bit right off the bat. All right. So Claire, let's talk a little bit about, do you have any ideas or thoughts that you're like already attached to or lingering in your brain
Around the brand?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess I really started as a filmmaker in the Pacific Northwest, so having that kind of like earthy vibe to it, I felt really inspired by, so like very earthy tones and stuff like that. And the other vibe is kind of like homemade, so like hand lettering, typography, and I really like clean sans serif typography as well. But otherwise, like, I'm totally open to interpretations. Like probably some other clients you've had, I really don't have an idea of what I want for my brand identity. So
cool. All right. I think that is good for me. And my only other question is, talking about Code Bear, right? Is it a big thing to you to have a bear represented somehow in this, or is it more of like an implication? Like what's the name? Is it a literal bear? Is it like some kind of like metaphor for something? What's the vibe there?
For sure. Definitely a bear will be very important with like the look. Like I really want a bear included in the logo.
Cool.
Code Bear is kind of like Code Red, like it's a type of treatment, in my opinion. We're giving you the Code Bear treatment.
Cool. Got it. And so that is some kind of urgency, some kind of like intentionality kind of thing,
yes,
right? Okay.
Exactly.
And another question, because you mentioned the earthy tones of where you grew up. Where do you think your clients are currently? And do you have to work with them in person, or do you work with clients from all over?
So I actually work with clients all over the country. Like I've worked with tons of clients on the East Coast and in Florida. Like I've actually worked with clients that I've never spoken to on the phone, and we've worked together for like 7 years. It's crazy. So I really get to work with everyone, which is what I love about being a video editor, is that there is no one location, and I get to meet and talk to people from all different walks of life.
Cool.
Okay,
So then
cool.
this is like a general thing. You can probably see my screen. What are your thoughts and feelings about like an actual bear versus changing the spelling to like match your name a little bit? What's the vibe there of like inventing a word or trying to keep it as an actual bear?
I'd rather keep it as an actual bear.
Love it. Okay, cool. All right. I think that we're good for you, Claire. You can hop off, you can linger in chat, you can do whatever you want. You can stay in the Zoom call if you want and yell at us if we have ideas that you like, but we're going to hop in and start talking and start working on some stuff, which is going to be pretty fun. And I kind of want to just look here at what my process is going to be. So I'm looking at vibes. These are going to help inform me for like where we want to go. And then cognitives are something that I try to put in that we want people to think about. Colors, earthy, we got it. We want to have, and anytime you see a pink square or like a pink color in my process, it means it's important. I just throw it in there because I know that I'll never use that color. And so I like important stuff gets in pink. And then let's do a little exercise here with cognitives, which I think I want to do. Lola, what is your vibe from the intake? What do you think about CodeBear? What's your take on it?
My overall take is that we're looking for something that doesn't feel too clinical, almost not too professional in the actual design. I think the professionalism will come through potentially in copy and a show of expertise. But we're looking at something definitely a little bit more approachable, a little bit more casual.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Here's what I want to do. And Lola, we can be a part of this brainstorm as well. I like to do, as we start to work on visuals, is what are things that are contrasting about the idea and what are things that can kind of overlay. And so I like to make lists of just like things that are associated with the objects or ideas that we want to work with. So we're working with the idea of bears and we're working with the idea of like film production. And so chat and Lola, let's start with bears. What are things that you like think about when you think about bears? Like what comes to mind?
Growling.
Oh, okay.
Definitely the fur.
Yep.
Brown.
Like family? Like I don't know what I mean by this, but like there's like an idea of like a group of bears comes to mind.
Also like Goldilocks comes to mind as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Honey. Oh, honey's a good one. Trees. Yep. Maybe like nature vibes. Let's see. What else is happening in chat?
Big.
Yep. Let's do this. Okay, we're gonna hop over to Adobe Stock. Chat, you can keep tossing your stuff in there. I'm just gonna type in bear, and this is a great way to like get reference image and just like look at some bear stuff. Bears are scary. Oh, polar bears.
Yeah, I actually did not think about that one.
Oh, Smokey the Bear. That's a good one. Hold on, I'm gonna put Smokey in a different category to make sure we don't do that. Because he's already very recognizable and we want to like stay out of that zone.
Yeah, so when we think about like mascots or potential mascots for CodeBear, we don't want it to look like another pretty famous mascot.
Yep. Okay, so we got some bear stuff. Ooh, I think like this salmon thing for some reason like always reminds me of bears.
Mm-hmm.
Salmon? I think that's how you spell salmon. All right, let's talk about film production. Lola, what do you think about when you think about film production? Chat, what do you think about?
I think about team, being on set, editing. You know, I actually don't know that much about film production.
Oh yeah, editing.
If you can't tell.
That's actually good. So I love getting brainstorms with what I like to call the gen pop, which is just general population, because especially with just like, what do we think of? It's really good to have someone that's not in that zone, because that's who you're catering to, right? You're catering to a client that's not in film production. So I love that it's like, I don't know. That's like, okay, but what do you think of? Editing's a good one.
Like the thing when they're like cut and they have the
little marker card. Yep, that's what I put on there. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Camera. Oh, microphone.
Somebody said lights, camera, action.
Oh yeah, like film reels. I like the little clapper idea. Okay, so these are good things to start working on, and when I start working on visuals, we're gonna work on logo stuff today and then eventually get into type and color. But I want to make some connections here that I think could be interesting crossover visuals. So chat, if you have any crossovers that you think could work, let me know. Lola, if you see any that like could be crossovers, I'll point mine out real quick. So I think that we could do something with pause and a film reel with some of like the negative space. Maybe teeth and like the clapper could be a thing.
I see the bear and a marker card.
Okay, we've got, a director's chair. That's interesting. I think that we could do maybe something with the ears and the microphone, or even the ears and the film reel could be a thing. Growling feels too aggressive to me.
Agreed.
And I'm just using the brush tool here to cross stuff out. I think that like honey and microphone could be a thing.
Yep, I agree with that.
Okay, let's play around with those, because I think that that might be enough to start with. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna try my hotkeys, y'all. So I'm gonna cut you to this screen right here. Lola, if you want to talk about whatever you want for like 30 seconds.
Should I keep you guys company? Yeah, and I'm looking through the comments to see what else came up. The other thing that comes up for me is what the combination of code and bear is, and thinking about like code red or all of those things, and if there's any meaning we can draw from what it would mean to have a code bear. I know we were just talking about kind of what it could mean at summer camp, but yeah, I wonder if there's any connections there. What is a code bear?
That's a great question of like, especially for a brand, how do we define that and make the customer think about like, oh, I'm having a code bear. Like, what is that? All right, let's hop in here and chat. You can see that my hotkeys are on now. We're going to work all kinds of crazy, and I'm going to pull some words and just start working with combinations. And I want to start with pause and film reel. Boop. All right, and so I'm just gonna work down here and see where we go. And sometimes I pull reference, and sometimes I like to just like go for it and then see how close I can get if something's interesting, and then go back and pull reference. What does a film reel look like? There's this kind of thing. And then it has like a, like this kind of roundy piece to it, right?
Yep. That is starting to look familiar.
Let's keep this all the same width. And let's do some math. So I'm gonna rotate this to make it around, I believe film reels have like 5 or 6. So let's do 5. Can we do math here? I think that Illustrator will let us do math. Yep. So if you didn't know this, Lola, this is the greatest hack of all time. So if you need to do math and you don't know, right? You know that 360 degrees is a circle, and I want to have like 5 rotations. You can just do divided by with a slash 5, and then when you hit tab, it will give you what the answer is.
Oh my gosh.
Magic! And you can do that for like measurements and everything.
That is perfect. I'm using that. I usually have to pull out my actual calculator to try to figure it out.
Okay, it's too wide. Let's go in here and just move it around. 360 divided by 5. There we go. Okay, that's not a thing. I think so much of my design process is like it not being wrong until it's right? This is like, it's not wrong. Like, it's not the right answer, but it's not wrong.
Yeah. It is making me wonder if there actually are 6.
Okay, I'm going to make a note and I'm going to see what happens because I have this idea of combining these with like a paw print, right? That I think could be interesting. So like in theory, and we're going to do this really rough just to get the concept. I think in theory, there's something that we could do here that like would turn into a paw.
Into a claw. Yeah.
And then like,
I see.
Right? Like these could become like the little toes.
Yep.
Sweet little bear toes. Do bears have nails? Bears have nails, right?
They have claws.
Okay, that's what they're called. Oh, good old
they
branding.
They have weapons.
They have weapons, yes. Let's do the polygon tool. And this is going to be pro tip. So if you ever want to create a triangle, there are a couple ways to do it. You can do a polygon and click and drag and then just hit the down arrow keys until you have 3. Or you can create a 3-sided star, which I'd never thought about, and someone showed me. They're like, oh yeah, triangle is just a 3-sided star. And my brain exploded.
So true. So true. And Paloma says the holes are already reminding her of the paws.
Yes, we're on our way.
She sees the vision.
Let's see, I don't want this to be aggressive, so we're going to do kind of this sort of thing. Sure, let's just do that for now. And again, I like to keep it super like just sloppy and out there until we get to a place where it's like, all right, it needs to be something right now. Like right now, there's no pressure, right? We're freshmen in high school with this idea and we're just like, I don't know, like I'm still like figuring out my life.
Haven't decided on a major. We're just testing things out.
Absolutely. That is what the vibe is right now. All right. So like, this is not a bad idea.
There's something there. There's a concept.
Yes. Ooh, Steve is saying they cannot retract their claws. They're always out. Ooh.
Yeah. Gotta stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Wow. Can we print that and just put it like above my desk?
Maybe that's what code bear means. You gotta stay ready.
I actually like that
amazing.
a lot. I like the idea of having a tagline that is like stay something urgent, like maybe stay ready, maybe something that feels like a good little tagline that defines what a code bear is.
Yeah.
Right? That like, oh, if you call a code bear, you're always ready or whatever. Okay, I'm going to pull reference now because I think the concept has proven itself. Now let's make it like an actual thing. Let's see what a film reel actually looks like. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see which one of these could pull for reference the best. And so I'm just on Adobe Stock. If you haven't used Adobe Stock, stock.adobe.com, it's a fantastic resource to get kind of direction for things. I like what's happening here. So I'm just going to use this and copy and paste. It'll still have that watermark on it, but I'm just kind of using it for reference here. And so I won't need to license it unless I need it for something. Okay, so here's some bear paw prints. Oh, here are these like actual ones?
Oh, different options. Okay.
Okay. How many toes do bears have? Because this one has 4. This one's got like 5. This one's got 4 as well. Chat.
Maybe we should go with.
Yeah, chat. Do some research here, chat. Can you let me know how many toes a bear has? Okay.
Do they have opposable thumbs?
Do bears have thumbs? I'm about to freak out if they do.
Me too.
I'm calling in. They have five toes.
They have 5 toes. Thank you.
And sometimes they could get mistaken for human hands as bones.
I hate that. I hate that sentence. Oh, human bears. Okay, so then it looks like that one that we had, where did it go? That was like scientific was like technically right. Oh, okay. Here's a good bear one. Okay, so they have 5, which is probably going to throw us off a bit. So we may have to get a little bit liberal with the kind of implication of a bear print.
Yeah.
And so this is something, again, when we're talking about visual translation, a lot of these, as you can see, have 4, have 3. It's a matter of like, what do people associate with bears? And I do think that there's a lot of this kind of this kind of thing, to where it's just a paw print with like general pieces. So I think we can play off of that. We'll try to do 5, but we may not need to have a full 5. All right. And Claire, if you were there, hold on. Hello, Claire. Can you call?
Hello.
There she is. Okay. Claire, what this concept, do you think it's interesting before we go any further? So I like to check in with my clients like as we work instead of waiting to the end. So Claire, what do you think about this concept of the bear print with a film reel?
I really like it. I would like to aim towards, I love the reference that you pulled up, because a lot of times people use like dog prints as bear paws rather than like the real like way it's looking right now.
Oh yes.
So I'd like to lean more towards like that footprint rather than like dog print.
Okay, cool. And while you're here, let me run the other idea by you that is just in my brain. And again, we're just going to do this. Actually, I'm just going to do it with the brush tool. So imagine that we have like one of the like little clapboards, right? And it has like some like bear teeth on it. Like, is this something that's interesting or something that's like, this feels way too aggressive? It's too like in the horror zone. What's your vibe there?
I think I would lean more towards the paw print rather than the teeth. Okay,
cool. Let's chase the paw print for this stream and see if we can get something done.
Sweet.
All right, cool. Thank you, Claire.
Signing off. Thank you.
All right, we've got our direction from our client. So what are we gonna do next? Are we gonna pursue the 5 fingers or do 4 and have a more abstract look?
I think I'm gonna try to do 5 fingers. What I'm trying to figure out in my brain right now is, do we try to make it look like a film reel first, or do we make it look like a paw print first? Like which one of those is the core, like as I'm building, which will be easier? And I think maybe the paw print will be easier.
I do. Although what's in my mind is I'm wondering if it'll be important to have the visual aid be closer to film because it's not anywhere in the name. So if we want to associate Code Bear with film production, it may help to have a visual aid that leans closer to film.
And I wonder too, if we do some kind of thing here, and I'm just going to use a warp real quick to get this idea out there. We are going to distort. We're going to do, nope. We're going to do, Andrew, where is it? Oh, here it is. The word warp is what I'm looking for. We're just going to do a flag warp here. And see like if this kind of idea would be helpful or interesting, right? Like if it had the extra little, because that's a great call out, but it's like, oh, it might just be like a circle. We need to have some other indication that it is indeed film. And so I think that might be a great idea to include some kind of like film strip coming off of it. What is happening? Why is this showing right here? This should not be showing. Aha, there we go.
Nice.
Someone in the chat said pause like a video control, but it's like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, there are so many puns we can play off of for additional like kind of brand marks and accents that I'm super excited for.
So I'm gonna filter this over here to just photos, and that will give me, like, I want an actual real life reference. Just to see, I want to find what like the heel part looks like. Okay, this part is what I want to see what that actually looks like, but I want a photo so it's not like an interpretation, because I want to interpret it in my own way. Okay, so it looks like a human foot.
I can see why people get confused.
This is a dog. This is not a bear. Tiger or cat? Okay.
Yeah.
These are bears. Okay, so like, because what I'm thinking is I need this shape down here to fit that space. And so if it is this long one, like it's not gonna work as the as like the paw base. And so I think if I play around with this, it could fit in that space pretty well.
Yeah.
And it's kind of this like oblong piece. Let's cheat a little bit. Okay, here's what I am the laziest designer. And I say that because I like to do just like quick workarounds. So this is what I like to do when I need to make like an oblong shape, is I just literally click around into like the general shape that I want to find. And then I will come in here and just round these corners.
Yes.
So we'll make this, right? And then just come in and go effect, stylize, round corners. Oh, no. Stylize, round corners. This is the best way to do blobs. And I just set it to like 500. And then we get like the blob that we want. And so now I can just grab these pieces and it will keep it nice and blobby for me. And I can kind of get it into the zone that I want it to exist in.
And Trey has the idea to use the paw prints as the negative space of the reel, which could also be interesting.
Oh, yes. Ooh, maybe if we reverse this out, it might actually work really well. I don't think I need this point right here. There we go. Okay, so let's see. I'm not mad about this shape at all. It's not as symmetrical, right? This is like a little offset.
It's definitely not, yeah. There's one side that's a little bit larger than the other.
Okay, so maybe this needs this needs to come down and out a little bit. And the whole thing can kind of squish in. And this piece is much less. It's not wrong. This feels too high still. Okay, this feels okay. We can work with it kind of as we go. But let's figure out where these toes go. And it looks like the toes are just ovals. Like they're just straight up ovals with a little claw. So let's do some ovals here. And we definitely want, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want one to be here. Let's just rotate them until we get a good zone. So let's do 360 divided by 12? That's not going to be far enough. Let's do 30. Let's do 40. Sure. And I'm just going to rotate that all the way around
Ooh, so what is Control D?
Oh, I just did that a whole bunch of times. So Control D is, I'll undo that so you can see, is transform again. So if I have this selected and I'm going to grab my rotate tool, which is just R, and I'm going to click, I'm holding Alt right here and just clicking on here, and it will bring up this rotate panel. And so I'm going to say I want to rotate by 45 degrees, right? And it's going to rotate that object that I've selected by this point by 45 degrees. And when I hit copy, it basically like remembers that I just did that. So if I hit Control D, it's going to basically tell Illustrator, hey, remember that thing I just did with a shape? Do it again. So then it does it again. Nice. So we're going to keep this going. And I actually think that this might be perfect for the number of toes that we need. Okay. The number of toes, correct. The shapes, kind of correct. It is feeling film reel still, right? Does it feel kind of film reely?
Chat, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Are we still getting film reel? It is starting to look like a fruit.
Oh, it is looking like a fruit a little bit.
Kinda
Okay,
like
let's look at our
seeds.
reference again. So maybe putting some of these in between pieces might help.
Yeah.
And maybe if we like strip this, it might help as well to give this like a really like film strip kind of vibe. Okay, let's keep trying. I know everyone's...
Okay.
Okay, so now let's start to kind of rotate these and see if we can get them to be more paw printed. They're different sizes too.
Val says potentially we should rotate the bottom ones to point upward more so it's not like a perfect circle.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that it kind of like flares a little bit. So I'm gonna delete these two on the side and get them kind of where I want them to be. And then we're gonna use a rotate. All right. Yeah. All right, it's not bad yet, but it's not great. But we'll keep going. Okay, let me just transform these and reflect them across. Okay, not wrong. That's our goal currently. All right, it's kind of looking like a paw. They feel really far apart.
Agreed.
Which is hard. So I'm gonna make a copy of this and see. And I like to kind of just chase concepts until it's like, oh, this is wrong, or this is like straight up not gonna work. And I'm not quite there yet. I do think that this might be able to work. Let's just do a plain paw print first to see what that might look like.
And I think they are similar to like human toes where they go from small to large, or I guess large to small.
Okay, yeah, that feels... Okay, let's move them over just a little bit. This gets brought in just a tiny bit. Okay, this feels... That feels kind of right.
Yeah. What if the middle one that's the largest was actually on the left?
So it went out this way.
Yeah, I guess we wanted to, it's like, as Val was saying, have the size descend from left to right.
Okay, yeah. So let's go here, there. So a little variation, and then maybe this one is the smallest little guy.
Yeah.
All right, that's not looking bad. And then let's try to add a little like claw piece right here. And I want to just do it with a little triangle. And then just pull this in. And do the claws go touching the toes? I think that they would.
However we want to interpret it.
Yes. All right, we got plenty of time. Looking like a bear print.
It is. Nice.
Okay. Oh, that's an interesting idea. So somebody in chat said put a bear print in each of the individual holes.
Ooh, okay.
Let's see. Might be cool. So let's do this. Let's get our center first. Find my center. All right, and then let's rotate around this. And we want to do 5. Let's do 5 because I think it just looks better for a film reel. All right, so they are going to overlap. They're a little too big. So what we can do here, and this is, again, another great hack that I love, is we can select all of these, and then we can transform each. So we can go to Object, Transform, and transform each. And then from here, instead of transforming the whole thing, it will move each of these independently. So I can do the scale at like 60%, and it's going to scale each of them individually.
What?
Which I'm like not mad about this at all. Also, you can randomize here. So if you have a bunch of objects, so like let's say that we had a bunch of snowflakes, you can hit random and it will randomize the scaling of those. So you can have a lot of different pieces. We are not going to do that though. Let's hit OK. Scale this up. I am 0% mad about this concept.
I'm not mad about this at all.
Okay, it's not good. Like, it's definitely not good right now, but it's like there's something to the bear claw shape being those, and maybe the claws like curl around the edge or something. So I'm just going to grab this blob because I think that that's the most interesting piece, and then we'll make another copy. And of course, we need to drop a pink down here. There we go. Just so I know, hey, I like this concept.
Yes, the folks are loving it. Chime in if you are loving the pause as the actual real holes.
All right, this is...
And Philip says maybe we should turn it around so that the toes are facing the center.
Ooh, great
It's
idea.
Another interesting idea.
Let me get this in here, and then we'll give that a shot. I'm also reversing this out just to see what happens.
Negative space.
Yeah. And I also think that I want to try to align this curve. Okay, I'm going to try something just real quick. I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to outline this because I want that curve to match the circle. So I'm going to go to Object and Expand. And now you can see all my rounded corners are just paths. So now I've made this really cool shape. But I want to make sure that it follows this circle pretty perfectly. So I'm going to cut it out right here. Just select those two and then use my Pathfinder to cut it out.
Pathfinder is the best.
It is. But you want to make sure that you have your shape that you're punching out in the top. So now we're going to do this. And now this sharp edge that I don't want, I can just grab these and round them off. And so now I have a perfect shape that's going to stay a perfect circle. And what I'm actually going to do, which is cheating. It's not cheating. It's smart. What I'm going to do is keep an extra copy of this circle. So when I round these, I can actually rotate and make sure that it's going to rotate around the center of this circle and not the center of the shape. So we're going to rotate. I'm going to zoom in here. So see how it's just a little bit off? That makes a huge difference when you're rotating around a circle. So we're going to want to make sure that it's on the center right here and then rotate. So 72, I think that's what we had. Oops. Rotate. Go to the center, please. There we go. We're going to copy. There we go. And now I can just delete these circles. And we are going to keep rotating that. And then from here, I'm going to need to transform again each of these. And we'll go to Object Transform, Transform each. This is going to be good. Oh, see, it's scaling off of the like weird center. So you can see if I select all these, the center of them is not directly in the center. And so as I scale, see it's like off there. I want to make sure that I click on the center and then scale them out from there. All right, this is looking kind of cool. I'm going to do this. I don't think this is a thing, but it feels right for a reel. Like it feels more film reely to me for some reason with that extra little target in there. Okay, and now we will have some claws. All right, let's make a copy and see if we can do a claw version of this. So, little things bug me and I get distracted. It was bugging me that this was not like the same alignment.
Are you sure you're not buying yourself some time to think?
All I'm doing. I know, you get in the details and you're like, where are we going? Where are we going? Let's just use this to buy time. Oh, hotkeys. I need you to please calm down.
Love it.
Okay. That's interesting. And I've not been paying attention to chat, and I look up and I just see a message that says, now add the bear weapons. I'm so confused by that, but also like so happy. You know what? Okay, I'm going to do something. And again, I'm not buying myself time. I'm just distracted at this point. I like that you can kind of see like film, like it feels like you have the regular cutouts, but then you're seeing film here, right? Like it looks like there's something in there. So I'm going to add just another small black stroke to see if that does anything. Oh, hotkeys. Andrew, pull it together. What is happening? All right, you guys can't see anything. All right, get that out. All right.
There we go. Oh.
Right? It has some kind of like hidden dimension to it that I think is interesting. Okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, let us know what you think, chat. Let's try to add some toes. Are these my toes? These are my toes. And I think I might try to align this. So I'm going to go into outline mode here, and I just hit Control Y, you can see down here, and that will give me the outline so I don't have to worry about any of these colors that are happening. I can really just focus on what's happening with the shapes. It's interesting.
I wonder if we need the claws.
I know. I think that we like need a version of it. Okay, let's try something else. first of all, I'm going to shrink this down because we're like running out of artboard because I'm working at the largest size possible. Okay, that's the cool thing about Illustrator is it's all vector, so you can make stuff really small, really big, doesn't matter. I'm going to try this. We're going to go into a transform each, and I'm going to try to change the orientation of them by rotating them by 180 degrees. That will just rotate them in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love it. I don't love it, but I'm not mad about it. So we'll hit OK. We're going to try it. We're going to give it a shot and see what happens. I already kind of don't like it, but let's paste in some toes here. And see if this helps at all. We'll have to get rid of this. Maybe if the toes overlap a little bit too, that would be helpful. This is going to be a nightmare at small sizes. All right, that is not good. Man, the concept is here. It just is, it might be too complicated for a small size. I made my own version. I'll upload it to Discord. Yes, please do that. Please help us.
Yes, show us. Turn them slightly to the side to make more room for the toes. Ooh, say more, Val.
Okay, I'm going to chase another concept here that I think might be interesting. And yes, chat, please help me, because this is the point where we got stuck and we're like, I don't know where to go. So I'm going to chase another concept. If I ever get stuck, I don't ever like beat my head into the ground. I just go on to a new concept. And so I wonder if we can make it so that the reel is like a cute little bear head.
It is? Oh, okay. This is interesting. I thought you were going to make the reel the hand.
What's a little bear nose look like? It's like this, and then it like kind of comes up a little bit like that. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I'm immediately like not mad about this idea.
It's like now it's cute.
It's kind of fun. Yes, these holes. Okay, chat, keep the suggestions coming. I'm gonna build the mouth or the like actual bear face first. And then we'll go back to there. All right, we'll come back to that other idea. We're here now. Again, I thrive in chaos, so this is the way that I like to work. What does a bear nose look like? It has like this little thing that comes down, right?
That is how they're usually drawn. Yeah.
Okay. Ear. Let's get the film reel in now. And I think that the like shape that we had been working with was really interesting. Where's my Pathfinder?
Ashraful said, Pooh Bear.
Oh, yes. Oh, my Pathfinder's literally open. Andrew, pull it together. Okay, this is like gonna be cute. Let's see here. I need to get the center of my circle. So the cool thing about going into preview mode is it will show you the center of all your pieces. So even if you can't find it here, you can go into outline mode, Command Y, and it will show you right there.
Super helpful.
Let's do 45s. That is not going to be enough. So we need to do 12. Rotate 360 divided by 12. What is that? 30. That's not enough. 360 divided by 6. 60. That's enough. There we go. Okay, and then let's scale them all out a little bit. All right, I don't hate this idea either. Claire, if you're on the line, let us know what you think about the bear face versus the bear paws.
Still on the line. Thank you for having me again. I am really liking the bear paws.
Okay, cool. So we'll kill this one and play with the bear paws. All right, thank you.
Goodbye.
See, it's great to be in constant contact with the client so you don't get like lost.
And random question, but when you're working with clients, do you usually have them like on a Slack channel or do you email them?
So this is crazy. I live stream sometimes when I'm working on the project and just be like, hey, hop into chat if you want. Because I like to keep my process really open. It saves me a lot of time. So yes, I do have a Slack channel where like I check in, but I like to do like live interaction a lot.
That's awesome. I've never heard that. What do you use? Like Twitch or Discord?
Oh, I use right here, Behance, behance.net. There is great live streaming capabilities here on Behance, and you can live stream. You can actually see a lot of my processes and even like the pitches that I've done to clients on my Behance profile. That is over there somewhere, I think. I don't know. If you click on the info tab, I think it's there. And someone is saying that they've posted in Discord. What Discord are you posting in and where are you posting it? Oh, here we go. Okay, so someone has posted in Discord. This is actually like, might be the vibe.
Ah, I see.
So this is Philadelphia. I'm gonna pull this into our Illustrator. And as always, if y'all ever have ideas, please just drop them in Discord and let us know.
Yes, this is a group project.
Okay, I like this. Okay, I want to do a Google real quick. I'm just gonna put us on our screen here. For some reason, I'm thinking of Brother Bear, like, had a really good representation of, like, what a claw looked like. Yes, okay, it did. It's on the cover of Brother Bear 2. Okay, so here's... we won't get copyright strike. So this is what I'm thinking of, like, the Brother Bear 2. This is a better representation of, like, what a paw looks like, I think. So I'm going to bring that over here. Whoa. I'm gonna bring that over here and just see what the difference is between our paw and theirs. I think that our shape is trying to be too organic. I think that we can standardize it a little bit to just be more of an oval. And then the toes are kind of pointing in. And so I think that that will actually help us kind of create this cool like star look if we kind of put them in a little bit. So let's
give it a shot.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. And I want to try the concept of, where are my toes? There we go. I want to try to separate the nails because I like how these nails are separated and put them on the outside and see if that creates like this cool little like symbol star mark. What are we going to do here? Not that. Okay, this is so bad. Why do these look so bad? Whatever. Andrew, what do we actually want to do here? Because I don't think that this is what you actually want. I talk to myself a lot when we design. Right, so like if the toes kind of come up, and we have them so that they're going inward, this might work better. So we're here, this is coming in, this is coming in. We probably need this to be closer to the edge, but I'm thinking if the nails like are coming in here, and create the, okay, let's not do that.
Sometimes the pen takes its own liberties.
Yes. Right, so like if these kind of came around and almost turned into like this border, I think that could be interesting.
Okay.
Like on the outside. All right, let's get the paws in first. So what's working here? How do I want to do this? I think I want to do 5 columns with a shape and then like mask it and round it.
Okay. What I also like about those claws is that they don't actually look that sharp.
Yes.
So they're still claws, but they're a little bit more friendly feeling.
Yes. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go here and then grab these and pull them down a little bit more. Let's pull this whole thing in and then let's I'm going to try something else. I'm going to do distort and then roughen. This will have a similar effect to the round edges, but if I do it smooth, it will kind of like smooth them out a little bit. We're going to do a couple weird things here. All right, so we're going to do this to kind of give it a little bit of wobble. And then I'm actually going to inflate each of these. Where is it? Warp? I think it's warp. Inflate. There we go. All right. So inflating these is just going to give us a little bit of like extra rounded edge. Mm-hmm. And it may be that these need to be the opposite way. Yep. There we go.
And Allison says the symmetry is working really well here.
I agree. And I like the like roughness of this. I think we can play around more with the roughness, but I like the idea of what's happening with the kind of rough pieces. I'm going to scale in the edges here just a little bit to give us a little more of that taper.
Nice.
Of like a toe.
And so you just grabbed, how did you grab only the 2 top parts to taper
Oh,
it?
yeah. So I'm grabbing the direct selection tool, which is A. And then when I click and drag, I'm actually just using the scale tool to scale that in and out.
Nice.
Okay. We have some toes. These are looking good. Let's get the toes locked and then we'll come back and build the foot. And the nice thing about the filters we're using is they're random. So like all of these will look different as it applies differently to the shapes. All right, so we've got some toes. These are looking great. Now what I want to do is maybe... Are the toes rounded on the bottom as well? Okay, I don't really care about that right now. Let's try to just do an oval and cut all of these so that we get like an even cut across the bottom. Ooh. What do we want to do here, Andrew? All right, let's just try a couple things and see what happens. Pathfinder, come back to me. There we go. So I'm just making a bunch of copies and cutting these out individually. And you can see me pasting in place there. Control C, Command Shift V, paste in place, which is just, it makes another copy of that oval for us. Okay, so now these are looking good. Okay, so having that little like curve to them is looking great. Let's rotate them just a little bit and see. So we're going to rotate. Whoa, I don't know what hotkey that was. We're going to rotate this one by, let's go ahead and outline these at this point.
And so by expanding appearance, like locks in the transformations you added.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so it will lock in exactly the shapes, and so they're not kind of effects anymore.
Nice.
Bear claws? Oh, they need to go in the opposite way.
How so?
They're curving inward.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? So they're curving in this way.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks better. All right. Why is this the thing that will literally take us down? All right, and I'm going to use some liberties here to just make the shape that I want this to be. Cool. This feels a little bit, oops. There. And then we'll go ahead and round everything. Okay.
Okay. It's giving paw.
It is giving paw. It's a little too wide, maybe? It needs to be more of an oval.
I think if we can bring the bottom edges in.
Oh, like this way and kind of just scale the whole thing
Yeah.
in? Oh, you're right. Yep, that's totally it. Okay, let's just draw this shape. Let's do that. So we want here, we want here. We want it to kind of come in a little bit, taper, a little bit there. We want it down here. We want it up there, and then right here. Okay, that is the shape. All right, that is very paw-y. Okay, let's get all this down. Okay, the scale is a little bit off, so let's work on that real quick. And it feels like these need to come up to like the edges a little bit, like that. All right, that's definitely feeling more bear paw-ish.
Yep, agreed.
Okay, we got a good paw. Let's go ahead and put it in our little circle. And Philip said he made another one and put it in challenge. I will check that out in just a second.
Very fast. And oh, Steve, I am currently in Vancouver, Washington. And let's see, someone had an idea. What if the paw with the fingers turned into sound waves of sorts, with the bottom part being similar to a clapper? What is a clapper?
It's like the thing that you referenced. That's like the little
Oh, the marker. Okay.
Card, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I actually like this shape way better. All right, let's do the same thing that we did before and cut out this paw so that I have a good kind of paw shape. Oops. We got what, like 40 some minutes left? We got plenty of time.
Definitely. And as far as process, do you usually start with the logo every time, or is there ever a situation where you choose like color palette and typography first?
I like to get the like concept idea in because that informs a lot of the other pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll probably try to do typography and color really quickly at the end of the stream today. I have some ideas for where I want to take it, so we'll kind of maybe try to do that real quick. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but it's right.
Looks interesting.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to put this shape to the side. Okay, so we got this here. We decided that we're doing 5. All right, we'll have to scale each of these.
Oh, Steve says he's from the real Vancouver in Canada. Excuse me.
Oh, people have suggested doing this like pointing in. I'm not mad about this. We'll try this again in another version. Okay, that's not looking bad. That is not looking bad. And I think, okay, so here's my secret in design is especially thinking that we want like this like hand done feel. A lot of these details that look a little bit off, I can hide by adding like texture or adding things that give that hand done look to make it somehow hides the perfect little imperfections that are happening. All right, somebody wants to see this inverted, and I agree. Each, rotate by 180. Why does this look so off? Right? Like it looks like this is super. It is. Okay, what happened here? It's definitely not. I mean, it's rotated around the center. But then when I flip it, it looks weird. So let's just do this. Let's delete those. Let's flip it here. All right, and now let's try to rotate.
The only other thing I can think of is if we put all the paws in circle containers. Okay,
I'm not mad about this.
It being larger helps too.
It does. I think it needs to come down a little bit. And then we need to scale it down. So let's do 90, no rotation. Okay, and then bring it a little bit closer to the center. Okay, this is interesting. I'm not mad about this at all. Do we need the extra reel? Maybe not. I think I like this one better.
Should we do a vote?
Yeah, let's do a vote. Chat, do we
Val, can we do a poll?
Oh yeah, who's our moderator today? Whoever the moderator is, if we can do a poll. I think it's Val. Val loves doing polls.
Yeah.
Val, if we can do a poll, that would be super great. We'll go with A or we'll go with B. All right, so have those options. I'm gonna show you real quick how I hide all of my mistakes and make this look great.
Yes.
So pick A and B, but what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna apply a bunch of different effects that will help to hide some of the imperfections. I do like this piece still being there. I love that extra little reel. It helps to hide the claws a little bit.
And real quick, Andrew, can we flash back over to the two options so Val can see?
A or B? I'll work over in the corner here.
Yeah. So A is number 1 and B is 2, Val.
So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start applying a bunch of like random effects to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe do like a Mezazoint, and that's going to make it kind of pixelated. So I have
never seen that.
Yes.
in my years of using Illustrator.
It's a filter that will make it like this. So it like pixelates it a lot. And I'm gonna have to make this larger, but I'll show you what it does now. So pixelate, and I use Mezazoint to just add in some of this texture. Let's do fine dots here. All right, I want to see that. And thank you. Val does have the poll up for us. So there we go. It's got kind of the pieces that we want. And now I'm going to rasterize this, which means it's just going to make it an image. So I'm going to hit OK. It will make it an image for us. And then I'm going to image trace. And I have a preset that I use. You can use like black and white logo, or you can kind of play around with it. So I'm going to do halftone, which is the preset that I have. And it will show you, right? It creates this kind of really gritty look. And another thing that I like to do to kind of even things out is we're going to take that Mezazoint off, but I'm going to rasterize this and then blur it. So we'll go to Object, Rasterize. I'll hit OK. And then we're going to blur it just a little bit and then trace it again, and it will kind of even out a lot of, it'll make it feel a little more hand done. So let's go to Blur, Gaussian Blur. I'm just going to blur it by like 2 pixels. Yeah, we'll hit OK. And now when I try to image trace this and vectorize it, it's going to pull up all of those little like soft edges. It will round them out for me. So see how it's got that kind of like hand done feel? I actually like this a lot. The details is too much, so I'm going to come in here and lessen the amount of detail that it's picking up. And see if we can get rid of some of those pieces. All right, how are we doing on our poll? Let's see here.
Let us know.
Okay, so the ideas here, and actually I'm not mad about how this is looking. So let's play around with some applications of this. The question to me right now is, do we need the claws or not? And I think maybe we should try it and then see what happens. And it looks like B came together. Let me grab the link. Val, can you post the official winner in chat if you can? I'm going to make copies of these so that we don't mess them up and add in some little kind of claws here.
Okay, A is winning by a landslide.
Okay, great. I'm gonna add in some little like claw pieces. Excuse me.
Bless you.
All right, and keeping it all very loose, I think, is going to be the key here, because I think that that's what's going to make it really work. Sure. And I'm trying to keep in mind now the hand-doneness that we talked about as one of like the key principles, and really just trying to keep it loose, because we were very vectorized and very clean for a while. And I think like keeping in mind it needs to look somewhat hand done, I think is actually going to help us a lot in this process here. Yeah, this is looking good. Where did our extra reel go? Get back in here. I just love that detail. Okay, so we have a claw with some pieces here. Let's go ahead and just add some texture to all of this. And I'm going to make another copy. Oh, I lost a nail. Don't we hate it when that happens?
Totally.
All right. How do I want to address this? Let's just grab all the white pieces and then we'll apply something to that. So what I want to do here is I'm just going to double click into this group, and I'm going to select one of these that is filled with white and go to select same fill color, and we'll select everything that has that same fill color. So just super easy way to kind of mess around with it, right? And then let's see what happens if I go into here, go to distort and transform, and then do roughen. We're going to change this to smooth, so it's going to give us some interesting shapes. And I think that this should, in theory, roughen things out a bit. So the detail is the amount of wobbles it has, and the size is how much it wobbles. So I'm going to change that to like 1, just so we have a little bit of wobble in there, and hit OK. And you can see what it does is it gives it that nice little like offset piece.
A little hand-drawn effect.
Yep. So that actually looks pretty good. I'm not mad about it. I am going to delete these and then rotate this piece around with the claws. All right, so we're gonna rotate from the center here. And I think that it already did it for us. Yes, magic.
Okay.
It's looking pretty good. I'm not mad about it. I feel like the claws might need to be a little bit thinner so it doesn't look as like skeleton paw.
I was just going to say that. It does look a little bony.
Yeah. And I think that that's probably these. So I'm just going to, again, we can use transform each, select all of them and go to object, transform, transform each. And we want the horizontal to be like 80, but the vertical to stay 100, and it will just scale them in a little bit. Let's take that down to 70 and see. Yep. There we go. Those look more like claws, right? Okay.
There we go.
Cool. So we're going to grab this again, and I actually don't like the amount of wobble that I have on here, so I'm going to come in here and just change the roughen. I want it to be maybe 0.5. There we go. Just a little bit less, so it looks more petroglyph than anything. Which petroglyphs? Ooh, let's talk about petroglyphs.
Yes, let's talk about that because I don't know what you're talking about.
Time for history. So petroglyphs are like cave drawings. They would use like iron oxides back in the day, and a petroglyph is anything that is technically a symbol on rock. Right, petro, rock, glyph is basically writing, and so it is just that.
Wow, ancient design history.
This is looking really good. All right, we are somewhere. We are going somewhere, and it is looking great.
Should we ask Claire about her preferences?
I think we asked Claire. Let me do one thing real quick to see.
Yeah.
If we can make this look a little bit more in our hand done zone. So I'm gonna grab some of these pieces that we don't have any effects on and just give them that little roughen.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. I also liked what you did with the blur effect.
Yes, I love doing the blur, and I'll probably end up adding that back in again once we get some of these pieces locked in. All right, and this one, so when you have big areas of color, a lot of times if you're doing the hand done look, you have to add something else in there or else it's gonna look weird. So we might need to add in some texture in there or else it's gonna just kind of look blah.
It kind of looked like fur for a second.
Oh, it did look like fur for a second. Okay, so we've got, that looks kind of cool. And I wonder, okay, are there pieces that maybe come in here, something like this, right? That would like maybe track along here and then create like this negative space piece. This is a very bad example, right? But like they kind of become, where's our reference?
There it is. There we go.
Like these things.
Okay.
I think that we could use that and it would not look bad. Right? I don't think it would look bad.
I don't want to try it. I want to see how busy it ends up looking.
Yep. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a circle from the center here, and we're going to work in an outline. And then what I'm going to do is try to just find the curve of this. So see how it kind of follows the curve of that bear claw? Right there. And then we're just going to do two of those so that they overlap to give us that in-between shape. And what I can do now is join these two together and then punch them out of this bottom shape, and it leaves us with just that top shape.
Look how easy that was.
Excuse me.
That's awesome.
All right. So let's go here. Let's fill that in, make sure that it is actually centered, which it is 100% not. Shrink it down just a little bit. All right, and then we'll apply that roughen, but not before we rotate. And check it out. Because we're using the same dimensions, boom, we can just rotate and it goes right around. This is looking like a film reel and a really cool thing. I am not mad. Okay, hold on. See, and here's my problem is I get excited about ideas and then like the client comes in and is like, oh, it's not working. And so I have to keep myself from like getting excited about ideas because as a designer, it's your job to make them excited about it. And so
yes,
we want to make sure that Claire is going to be excited, not just us. I am going to do another copy real quick and just scale these in because it's feeling a little unbalanced to me. And then I think we'll be good to bring Claire on. So I'm just gonna scale these down so there's a little more breathing room around the base. There we go.
I like this. And yes, Val asked if we use the Pathfinder tool to create that shape, and we sure did.
We sure did. That is exactly what we did. I'm going to add a little roughen here before we show Claire. And by before we show Claire, I mean she's like literally watching, but whatever. All right, Claire. Come on the line. Oh, we've had Claire on the line the whole time. Hold on, we hang up and then, oh, hey, Claire. Come on the line.
Oh, hey. Nice to be back. Yes, loving it. Loving the direction that it's going. My only comment is the little film strip at the bottom.
Okay, do we hate it?
I like the idea. I just don't think like, I think you had like another version where there's like of it. I forget which one. Oh, like the bottom, the big one on the right.
This one?
Well, that one's cool, but the other one on your big one, yeah, like I like that one too.
That kind of
yeah.
Okay, that has more of like the cutout strip.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
But otherwise, love the pause. It's looking super good.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's, thank you, Claire. Let's go ahead and pink box this one because we like it a lot. And I'm actually going to come back to this. So the film strip piece is something that we can figure out. This mark alone, like, maybe done. Like, it's pretty close and good enough to where I want to start pairing it with stuff. So let's go ahead and start playing with this. And I'm going to come over to a new zone. We're going to go up to the top right now. And again, my artboards when I work, pure chaos. That's all that I want in my life, pure chaos. So everything looks good here, but I'm going to make a copy and just create a punched out version of this so I can see what it looks like reversed out on a color. So right now, it's just a bunch of shapes, right? If I drop a color behind it, it's just a bunch of white stuff. So I don't want that. So I'm gonna come in here and how do I want to do this? Let's go ahead and outline everything first. So we're gonna go to Object and then Expand Appearance. So there's a lot of anchor points because we have that filter on here. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do one more time Object and Expand. Is I'm just gonna create a bunch of complex shapes. So I'm gonna select everything that is white with a white fill using the Magic Wand tool, which is just Y. So you have all of that selected, and then I'm gonna grab my Pathfinder and just make it into one shape. Where is my Pathfinder? There we go. All right, so we lost this. So what we need to do is we're gonna punch this piece out of this piece. So boom, now that's punched out. And now we need to punch all this white out of the background. So I'm gonna hit Control-8 just to make it a compound path, which means all the pieces work together. And I can punch it right out of the background. Easy.
Nice.
Easy. Okay, so this looks good. And this is where I usually start to work with color, right? So we have a black one, and then I'm going to make a white one that is reversed out just to see what's up. And now we're gonna dive into like brand stuff. All right, I'm not mad about it reversed out either. Lola, what do you think?
I actually like it reversed.
I do too. It's got a cool like floral kind of vibe, but also it is very like, it's still film really. It's just a cool kind of vibe.
Yeah, the chat is saying they're getting a lot of Native American vibes to it, which is definitely reminiscent of like the Pacific Northwest.
It is very Pacific North. You're right. It is very Pacific Northwest. Yeah. Oh, that actually like kind of is a good vibe. Okay, so, and yes, someone is saying deep mint and salmon. Devin, that's actually where I was about to go. So let's grab some colors real quick. And I think that I wanted to go to that very earthy look. And I'm going to use color.adobe.com. So color.adobe.com, great resource. And I'm going to go to explore and I'm just going to type in salmon. And there may be a photo of like, I want like a king salmon that has some kind of greens and browns and that like red that is on the side of salmon sometimes. And if I can't find the exact like palette that I like, what I'm going to do is go to Adobe Stock and try to pull something from there. We're going to do trout as well and see if anything. Yeah, so this redness that I like in the trout. This color scheme's kind of close to what I want, but not quite. Let's, oh, wait, hold on. There was one down here. This might be what I want to go for. Claire, if you want to come back on the line, I need to remember to change that. I want to ask some like personality traits about Codebearer. Looking into colors, do we want something that feels like stronger or something that feels more like welcoming and delicate?
Good question. I'm not sure. My initial instinct is stronger colors.
Okay.
But still like on that earthy palette.
Cool.
So yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's all I can give you.
No, that's good. Let's go with this one and then we can kind of see what happens. So I clicked on add to library and it actually added it straight into my Creative Cloud library. So I can come back into Illustrator and open this library. And I believe it put it in like my random brushes one. Oh, wild salmon. Someone's saying wild salmon. So let's look at that as well. But I'm going to click on my Creative Cloud library and here are my colors. I can right click and then just hit add theme to swatches. And now all those swatches are in here as a color palette.
Nice.
Magic. I'm actually going to go to stock. And I'm going to show you all how to do something else. And we're going to go to wild salmon.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh, like these colors. Oh, those are cool. The red is a little intense, but that's a nice.
Looks interesting.
Oh, that red is really cool. All right, let's try trout because I want that like the like purpley red that trout has sometimes. Okay, let's grab this image here. Oh, no, that was it. This is the red that I want. Okay, so we're going to grab this image and check this out. I'm going to copy it and paste it into Illustrator. And from here, I can actually grab a color palette from this photo. So actually, I think I can do this in Adobe Color as well.
Yep.
Let's go ahead. Where is the option to upload? I know that it's a thing. Extract theme. There it is.
Yeah.
So we're going to grab this and drag it on over. Oh, did I not download it? All right, let's download it real quick. We'll license it. Thanks, person. All right, we're going to drag this in here. Oh, that's the theme right there. That's what I want.
Look at that.
So it does a really great job at kind of pulling in these colors. I love this green. And we can see this green's right here. I actually want to maybe pull more into this jacket so that it becomes a little more of this dark green maybe. There we go. That's what I want. The orange feels a little aggressive. This blue might be a little too much. So I'm going to pull this down a little bit. And then the orange, I want an orange, but I want it to be a little bit lighter. So I want to make sure that we have some contrast. We'll just drag this around until we find it's a little too saturated. There we go.
Yeah.
That feels like a good contrast. All right, so now we have a great color theme. I'm going to name this Salmon. Slammin'. I'm going to name it Slammin'. That's just what it's going to be.
Yes, let's do it.
We're going to save it to our brushes. And so I could save this to a new library. I'm just going to call it Code Bear. It will create that, and I hit save, and watch what happens. I come back into Illustrator, open up my Code Bear. It's going to think about it. You going to sync for me? Sync away. Hold on, let's close. There we go, right there.
Nice.
Add theme to swatches, and now we've got some nice swatches. And let's do a logo lineup and see what happens. 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do another 6 over here. All right. That scheme looks good.
This is really great.
That feels great.
Energetic, but at the same time feels down to earth.
Yes.
Definitely getting the approachable vibes.
It does. It's the muted colors make it feel a little more approachable.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to reverse all of these out into white, and we're going to do a couple different options here. And this is a big thing when you start working with a brand. When you find your colors, make sure they work with the logo before you do anything. So let's go ahead and put these here. Obviously, these are absolutely clashing, so we're not going to use them together. But let's toss the color behind and then change all of these to white.
And can you explain clashing colors to those who are not familiar?
Yes. So there is like scientific ways to like look at it or whatever. But what I like to do is if you look at colors and it feels like your eyes are vibrating, like if it feels like you're like 6 drinks in and you're trying to read something, probably not good. So these colors here are very vibrating. If you look at the edge, you can't make out the edge because it looks like they're just like shocking against each other. But if I change it to something like this, you can see that clear defined edge.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just drop all of these into white, and this will give us an option to see what these look like on our different colors. Delicious.
Look at that.
Delicious.
So we know that white at least fits on all of these.
Chris Porter is in chat. Hi, Chris. Is saying that it's great to ditch the film reel at the bottom. I agree. I do think that we need something that takes it back into a little more of like a film reel. So I'm going to play around with some options of that. I do think that it might be a thing to kill these. Like that feels a little more film reel to me still, but it's not as interesting. Yeah. So
another thing is I noticed on our reference photo, the little things in between are a little bit skinnier on the bottom.
Yeah.
That might be good. So it doesn't look as much as like a flower.
Yeah. So I'll probably end up working a little bit to like refine things tonight, but I think that we're pretty close here. And next what I want to do is make a copy and see which of these colors go together, right? Which could we overlay? Mm-hmm. And we usually want to do lighter and darker. And so when I have 2 tones of something, I like to just do that. That looks so good. And then when I know there's a contrast, so I don't think any of these colors are going to go together. They are going to clash pretty hard, which is fine. We just need to mentally note what can we do when we're combining these colors. And maybe it's that we have a second version of this orange that goes into more of this green zone, right? That has this darker. So we just come in here and we're going to bring it down a little bit to get that nice brown. And from there, now maybe this can come into a darker brown. That looks great.
Nice.
This might be able to go red. Oh, I'm not mad about that at all. Oh yeah, that totally works. That's not vibrating at all. We do maybe want to add in a darker blue here, right?
I agree.
I kind of want a brown. Do we do just like a random brown?
I don't think there's enough contrast between that and the red.
Yeah.
To be like significant.
So what I like to do is grab another color that I like the value of in the palette, and then I double click in here and then just take the color up to like the blue area, right? So it's the same darkness, but we'll have that same blue area, that same kind of blue vibe. So we'll hit okay, and there we go. So it's the same value as the green, but it's in the blue area. So let's see what happens when we flip these over. That feels pretty good to me.
Awesome. I like that.
All right, this is a pretty good palette. I do probably want a brown. Do I want a brown? I want like a brown and a tan. So let's do this. What we can do is we can come in here and we can select these two greens. And again, we're just going to pull it down into more of a brown, right? And maybe we want it a little more saturated. And I love that you can see the contrast between them to make sure that it kind of has that contrast. Oh, the brown and green, that's what's up right there. That. That's a great combo. All right, I was gonna add like a tan, but I don't think I need it. I think just doing the brown, I think helps. It might be a little bit too dark, so let's lighten that just a little bit. There we go. That's nice and soft. Sweet.
We've got colors.
We have colors. It's happening. Wow. Things are happening. Okay, I want to do this just because this is not going to be a thing. Claire, close your eyes. This isn't going to be a logo application that is real. But what I want to do is just real quick. We're just going to do this. This is for fun. This is the stuff that I don't let my clients see because I'm like, please don't do this with your logo.
Yes, clients, we do definitely play with your branding before we send it to you.
Yep. Because there are times where you're like, ooh, this would be like really fun. And you're like, I don't want anyone to ever do this, but like this could be really fun. I just want to see it with all the colors on it. So do like the blue here and then do like a green here. We do that dark orange here, dark blue here, and then that like brown. It's kind of cool. Like I love this color story. And then something else that I like to do is just this. So I'll start to like overlay to see what happens when these core colors kind of interact with each other. So I'll just multiply. And there's some cool stuff here that it turns into like this patch or something that you can kind of stamp on. And This is where we'll start to get into that brand that we'll look at a little bit more tomorrow, is how can we leverage this logo and mark or element into other pieces and start to apply it to like a photo, right? So yeah, we got like 5 minutes left. Let's grab some type real quick. Real quick, let me do this. All right. Let's do this as well. Let's go ahead and save for literally the first time. All right. Wow, we saved. Almost 2 hours in. Wow. All right, core colors are good. Let's grab some type, and I'm gonna come over here into Adobe Fonts, and I'm just gonna type out Code Bear, and this will not be really what we stick with for the name. We'll probably do some kind of type treatment, but I want to see what it looks like. So I'm going to grab the type tool and click on Find More.
Do you have a favorite font or a font that you like always want to go to?
I always want to use Trade Gothic because I love newspapers. So I grew up doing newspaper design, and so let's see what I want here. I want something that's like fun and bubbly. So I'm going to come into heavy right here. And then I probably want something that's sans serif, right? Because we talked about sans serif being a thing. And I can actually just kind of go through and see what stands out to me. And it's cool because it live previews. And as we kind of scroll through, you can see maybe something that might hit a zone. I actually found one earlier that I'm gonna do. I wanna show you how to do that, but I found one over on Adobe Fonts called Cartograph. And this just feels kind of campy, outdoorsy, but kind of fun as well. So I wanna play around with what this looks like as maybe a heading. I just need to hit Activate Fonts. And Rob is saying, was I a former newsie? Yeah. And it should sync here in just a second. There we go. Ooh, okay. So I actually love the extra bold here.
I'm liking that too.
But once it comes down to like a body copy, I love that the thin version of this, or even the extra light, like it feels, I don't know, it feels like digital to me, but it's very like human up here, but then it feels refined down here. It's a little too wide for me. All right, we're going somewhere with those. And someone in chat is saying it feels very indie, yes. All right, let's do one in between just to do like a little subhead to see what that looks like. And when I do this, I want to find similarities or differences like this. And then we want something that is regular contrast and maybe something that's a little bit wide. Let's scroll through and see if anything matches up or feels right. This is so much of design is just like
looking through options.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
I'm not mad about that. Like, is it
a serif combo could be interesting.
I was gonna say, yeah, a serif intro combo could be really interesting. Ooh, if this has like a bolder version, this is interesting.
Huh.
It's a weird combo, but it's interesting because I think that like some of the letters work really well together. The E works well together. The O is like a little different. It has like a similar vibe.
It does.
Let's try it. And we only have a few minutes left, so we may end right here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
This is for the subheading, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no, what was it that we just had?
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's gone
I
forever.
can barely read it.
I hate when that happens. Oh, I don't remember what the font was.
Well, I know you had set it to medium weight. That one, the one on the far bottom, I think. Was it?
No,
and
it
then
had like a little like swoop on the it had a little swoop on the top. All right, I will find it. It may be gone forever, but I will find it. And we will make a comeback for tomorrow.
Woohoo. Okay.
All right.
With a couple minutes left, can you share with us what we'll be doing tomorrow?
Yes. So tomorrow we are going to be leveraging these assets. Oops, that's the intro. That's not the right one. There it is. We're going to be leveraging these to go into a Creative Cloud library. And then we're going to use that library in Creative Cloud Express. So I'll be packaging everything into a library for Claire and defining all the pieces, kind of having that brand build out, color themes, all of that. And then we'll be taking it into Creative Cloud Express so that Claire will be able to just do this on her own, which will be awesome. Speaking of, let's go ahead and have Claire come on for the last minute. Claire, do you want to give us any thoughts about where we landed, where we are, and where we want to go?
Yeah, palette looks amazing. That's like literally exactly what I was thinking.
Yes.
So, and the logo is looking really amazing. I did not think that bear paws could fit in a film reel, and it looks great. Definitely interested in exploring fonts.
Yep.
I can't see it yet, but I completely trust you. So.
Yes, I think the title treatment needs to be, we'll figure it out, and I think the fonts could use some massaging, yeah.
Yes, but I'm super excited.
Sweet.
Woo!
Thanks, Claire.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much, Andrew. We will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time for part 2. And make sure you stay tuned for the Premiere Creative Challenge with James. And then Adobe Live will be back after that tomorrow morning with the Adobe Creative Cloud Express evangelist Katrina, who will be walking you through Express, which is a perfect intro into what we'll be working on tomorrow.
Yes, it's going to be a fun time. Sweet. All right. Well, I will see you tomorrow, Lola.
Yes. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.